And welcome to this little weathercast I got here for you. I'm Tom from Vickham. We're going to start up at Toledo Bend. A lot to unpack in this little weather show. Toledo Bend. I'm showing this is a new camera view there as we look in that direction along Highway 6. So we've got, of course, the cumulus clouds floating around. But by and large, it is at least partly to mostly sunny in that direction. And then going to Leesville, I hadn't visited Leesville in a while, still seeing a little bit of high cloudiness there and a few cumulus clouds. So it is partly sunny there. And of course, it was a really hot day. Stelli's in LeBeau. Been a while since we visited the restaurant. We've got to look there, mostly sunny sky in that direction off in North St. Landry. All right, let's get into the meat of things with the radar. Not much on radar today. We had 10% coverage, and we'll probably get that, so it's not over with yet. And I'll zoom in just a little bit. You see this outflow boundary to the south there. We're picking up additional shower development. So let me put that into motion again. There's the outflow boundary, which is going to be moving into Avoyelles Parish shortly. It's moving through Evangeline and Allen parishes. It will probably reach Beauregard, maybe southeast Vernon, South Rapides, and dig deeper into Avoyelles Parish as the evening goes on. But eventually it'll run out of gas and it'll just kind of sort of become stationary. But what happens is these are like miniature cold fronts. They lift the atmosphere like a front would, and just behind it, because it's shallow, instead of ahead of it, you getting the development of shower, you get it behind it. So we got little showers developing right there across portion of Evangeline, not far from Ville Platte, and then into St. Landry and the Evangeline Parish border there east of Ville Platte. So a little bit of action. That's about all I can offer for that right now. So satellite and radar showing still this little frontal boundary to the south of us. You still see the big clockwise flow right there. Look how big this high pressure feature is there. This is the heat dome. This is the warm bubble of air, and this will play a role in where Beryl goes once it gets up into this direction, into this part of the world. Futurecast, planning your start in the morning. I don't think we'll see any issues. It will be a muggy start, though, as we've been used to. As we pick up during the day, some hit and miss showers and a few thunderstorms. Now, this is forecasting less rain than I am, but you get the idea. It will be hit and miss. And there's your evening errands and entertainment forecast. So still a chance of some showers and thunderstorms into that part of the time. Then once we get into the 4th of July, there'll be still a few hit and miss showers and some thunderstorms on the 4th. I would like to add a new sponsor, Atlas Home Services. We, of course, it's generator season, hurricane season, and they sell generators, so you might check that out over at Atlas Home Services there. Hurricane formation or tropical formation there into the islands. This is AL 96, but the probabilities of that are decreasing. Now, the big story, of course, is Beryl. Hurricane Beryl. You notice the clear eye there, and then the eye becomes not as clear and well defined. And so, looking at the volume of convection, we have a good volume of convection there, but slowly but surely, I think this is feeling some shear coming in from the west. And so that will help the storm weaken a little bit. It's already weakened a bit, but we expect further weakening as time goes by. Here's the information. It is down to a 150 mile per hour storm, and that was based at the latest observation. Yeah, that's the latest information. Pressure 943 millibars. So when the pressure rises, there's a little response time, but usually the wind drops. And so that is what's happening with major hurricane Beryl. Now, the forecast keeps it as a hurricane all the way through the Caribbean and Cat 1 as it makes landfall there on the eastern part of the Yucatan Peninsula and down around Jamaica as a Category 3. So let's keep Jamaica, those folks, in our prayers there, as they'll have a direct hit from this particular storm. And then all eyes will turn to the Gulf of Mexico. I know all eyes around folks who live around the Gulf Coast are going to be watching this. And the Hurricane Center and their forecast explicitly brings it out as a tropical storm as it heads into looks like a position landfall south of Brownsville in Mexico, pretty close to there during that time frame late Sunday. And of course, now this is the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center, which reflects a little bit of a northerly shift in the motion because of the interplay of a high pressure ridge and upper level trough, which is up in this direction, which I'll get to in just a minute. Those are the important features. So when you say, okay, well, what's going to happen beyond this 5-day forecast that the Hurricane Center says? Well, we're going to have to be watching the high pressure ridge and trough in the middle latitudes. So let's look at this possibilities there, as there is recurvature, I do believe, across portions of South Texas and into the maybe even the southern plains. We'll be on the right side of that. So right now, it's not out of the question that we could get some moisture from Beryl. And so let me show you this graphic. This is a future cast, which shows Beryl coming into at about the time it makes landfall as a hurricane on the Yucatan Peninsula. The high pressure ridge is still strong up in this area, but we see another ridge off the west coast right in there. This is a really big one, and on the east side of that we see a trough developing. Okay, so cool troughs, hot ridges. That's kind of the forecast there. Now let me go a little bit further into this, and then we'll put Beryl in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. This would be by Saturday morning. Again, this is a GFS opinion, but this is kind of what my forecasting philosophy is. The big ridge continues out west, and so the trough digs a little bit deeper. It gets a little closer to Beryl in the southwest Gulf. Now move this forward to, let's see, Sunday morning. So about 24 hours later, there's the landfall position according to the GFS explicitly around Brownsville. Hurricane Center has a little further south. And I'm not sure, it might not landfall a little bit further to the north, but somewhere in this vicinity looks like the best guess right now as to where the landfall position will be. And notice that the high pressure ridge is still strong out there. In fact, it even shifts to the east a little bit. And so that may help dig the trough a little bit more and get it a little bit more close to Beryl and a little more influence. The closer it is, more it's going to influence. And then we'll let this run out for the next several days after that into the middle of next week. And you see this treks it across central Texas. There are some scenarios, some models that recurve it more in this fashion toward northeast Texas, say toward the Longview, Tyler area, or somewhere in there, into southeast Oklahoma, around Texarkana, somewhere in that vicinity. There's some scenarios that do that. So the closest approach would mean more rain. Further away would mean, yeah, some moisture and some rain, but nothing ridiculous. So we're going to keep our eyes on this forecast, and again, as the situation evolves and Beryl does what it does, we'll have a little better idea as to what's happening in that 7-day forecast. But you see there's a chance of rain every day. Got low wind scattered for Wednesday. Your 4th of July has the least chance of rain, 30%. The heat will be on, folks. Wednesday, Thursday will be very hot. Heat indices, heat advisories will probably be needed those days. And then Friday we see showers and thunderstorms increase, and into Saturday say, oh, wait a minute, that's not rain from Beryl. That is the influence from that trough digging down, getting closer to Beryl. So we'll feel that as showers and thunderstorms increase there. We'll settle back to scattered on Sunday, and then we're back to likely Monday and Tuesday, and that is when I think we could see some rain from Beryl. And that whole pattern, that Friday, starting Friday, with that influence from the north, from the trough building to the northwest of us, that is going to set the tone for probably a week of rain. I think there will be a couple of days of decent rain chances past Tuesday. And so that is going to set the tone for a pretty wet period there, I think, with that influence from the northwest, from the trough, and then eventually maybe some rain from Beryl. So that's the forecast now. You see a downturn in temperatures associated with that as well. All right, well, thanks for listening. Thanks for your support. And of course, Nick and I will be all over this stuff over the next several days until it does its thing. And then there'll probably be something else to watch. I'm sure there will be. All right, that's it for me. Again, thanks for